Sleeping giant crypto stock.
This company is poised to become a global behemoth.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is your place for all things stocks and crypto. From beginner tips to expert picks. Use this as fuel for your investing journey, because when you're in the know, your money will grow.
This episode of the Bean Pod is sponsored by Kyberswap.
Kyberswap is a DEX and DEX aggregator which is built to facilitate all your DeFi needs in one single platform.
Fast, cheap, and safe.
User experience is Kyberswap's sole focus to make everyone's life better in DeFi.
All views expressed by speakers on the Bean Pod are solely their opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed on the Bean Pod as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a specific strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Welcome to the Bean Pod. This is Shane, aka the Jolly Green Investor.
And this is Josh, the Nifty Investor.
Today, we're going to be talking about a stock which operates in the cryptocurrency industry, which could be poised to dominate the world.
Let's connect the dots here and follow along at home because this is really important. And when you start to see how we've done this episode, you'll be like, that makes a lot of sense. So back, what it was like a year ago, Binance sounds the alarm on FTX. FTX fucking goes to zero.
Yeah.
Not a good look because FTX is America's little princess, if you will.
Yep.
One of the largest donors to the Democratic parties from a crypto perspective, hundreds of millions of dollars going out to like 350 plus Republicans, Democrats, etc. So this led to a huge bank run. And now what we're starting to see is the US pushing out Binance. They're like, all right, well, screw you, Binance. You know, you just sound the alarm on our golden boy. Now let's get rid of you.
Yep.
Problem with Binance is the fact that all the trading is done with USDT. We'll start connecting the dots here. All these altcoins are tied to USDT, the trading pairs. There wasn't a lot of USDC paired coins. And we've seen that in the market cap of USDC versus USDT market cap.
What are the numbers exactly? So we have USDC's market cap dropped by roughly 17 or 18 billion. At the start of this year, the USDT dominance increased from 49% to 69%, whereas USDC's market share declined from 33 to 21.
Right. So this battle continued. And then Binance is like, well, you can't, if you deposit USDC onto our platform, it's going to get converted to BUSD. Not good. So we're starting to see what, in my opinion, it seems like a battle between Binance and America. And we can see that because now Binance is being pushed out of Australia, Germany, Canada,
yeah.
All allies of America.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
It is very interesting.
And clearly I think that, you know, if I'm a fly on a wall in a closed room listening to these conversations, it's like, look, we are planning these things because we're going to get into a little bit more here with BlackRock, Fidelity, etc. If we want to continue doing trading, supply chain, all this stuff, then you got to adhere to our rules and the way we're trying to make things work in the crypto space. And there's been some really interesting things that have transpired over the past few weeks.
Yep.
Circle, recent integration. Right now they already support Algorand, Arbitrum, AVAX, Ethereum, Hedera, Solana, XLM. Interesting to know that these all seem to be like US type of companies.
Like some of the ISO compliant
right?
ones and stuff like that.
And they've just named 6 more that they're adding. Near, Polkadot, Optimism, Cosmos, Polygon in October, and Base.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Circle is now integrating with these blockchains.
Yep.
Is very interesting, especially when Coinbase just took equity into USDC.
Yeah, so here's where the plot thickens, right? This whole USDC Circle Coinbase thing this has kind of been the biggest piece of news in this whole saga that's really kind of made us clue in, and one of the main reasons we decided to do this episode. So what happens is because of, growing regulatory clarity, like, the regulations are coming in, now we know what you can do with stablecoins and whatnot. There was less of a need for a separate governing body for USDC, which was Circle. So now Circle, they're still handling governance in terms of issuing new tokens and compliance. But now Coinbase is coming in and taking a minority space in Circle, which is distancing it a little bit from USDC. So now Circle, USDC, and Coinbase are now all in bed together, and Circle and Coinbase will still generate and share revenue from USDC's reserves interest income.
Right after they've added 6 more blockchains.
Yep. So there's something,
Something's brewing. And right after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, there was, I believe the major lender was Circle with $3.3 billion of cash reserves in the bank. The USDC started to depeg. What happened? The US regulators stepped in immediately and made sure that thing went back up to $1 and all the customers got their money, over $3 billion.
Yep.
They're trying to protect this little baby.
For sure.
And why are they trying to do it? What I discovered was BlackRock, Fidelity, they made an investment in Circle. It was a $400 million investment in Circle back in 2022.
Huge. Yeah. So there's a lot of signs here which show like, all right, look, the US, they lost their baby in FTX. It looks like they're picking Coinbase as the next baby. So when you look at, we already talked about how the market dominance of USDT skyrocketed over USDC. But what happens when the final hammer comes down in all of these countries around the world and they work in unison to say, look, USDT is gone. Everyone has to convert the USDT to USDC. USDC's market cap dominance compared to USDT's could skyrocket.
USD is the global currency. This is the one that all the trades are transacted and settled in. So if America wants everything to be done through USDC, they're going to make a way of finding a way to make this happen. So there's a new proposed tax bill that came out through the Department of Treasury and the IRS. And they're forcing all DeFi applications like Uniswap, MetaMask, etc., to become brokers and force and implement KYC. Here's a line from this document. The proposed rules would also apply to other digital assets like NFTs and would apply to so-called decentralized platforms, which use software to link crypto buyers and sellers directly rather than routing their orders through a company like Coinbase.
Yeah.
So in this tax document, they literally say Coinbase.
Yep.
They just named it.
Yeah.
So we have BlackRock, Fidelity taking stake. We have Coinbase taking stake in Circle. We have all these things that are happening. We have integration of new blockchains. Recently, Shopify and USDC are making integration through Solana Pay as well. So you're going to be one of the biggest online merchants in the world where you can start sending and accepting USDC.
Yep.
So some interesting things happening here.
Yeah, for sure. And, we called this episode the Sleeping Giant Crypto Stock because Coinbase, who seems to be the crux, the center, the focal point of this whole new emerging financial system in North America, they're a publicly traded company. The ticker is Coin. Now, if you look at the chart, it's pretty much bottomed out. It's trading around $70, back in the past, $200, $300. And Coinbase specifically, they stated that their new partnership for USDC expansion would be part of an updated financial system. They're not, confirming speculation that, Coinbase is the crux of this new American crypto regime, that they're going to have this fully regulated, blah, blah, blah. But what we do on the show is read between the lines. We put pieces together, we put the puzzle together for you, and it looks like Coinbase, and there's a few other main reasons why we think Coinbase is really the one, and we'll get to those, so make sure you watch this to the end. But it just seems like Coinbase is the chosen one here, and it's the building blocks are being laid, right? And I think it's going to be an interesting time here.
It seems like things didn't work out with FTX. Coinbase will be the new baby. If you haven't been paying attention, the Bitcoin ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK, etc., they all named Coinbase as their surveillance company that they're going to be using. And during the recent release of the statements from the SEC, they do not want fraudulent behavior. So they don't want wash trading. They don't want people with dominant positions. And they don't want manipulative activity of stable coins, quote unquote, tether.
Yep.
So the reason they rejected the Bitcoin ETF, spot ETF for Bitcoin, is because of tether.
Yep.
So what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to oust tether, oust USDT, because I believe it's tied to China, and they're trying to rise USDC to the top, where this is where all the trading is going to happen, and it's going to go through Coinbase. The government's going to collect their checks. BlackRock's going to collect their checks.
Yep.
And everybody's happy.
Yeah, I mean, being chosen as the surveillance partner for BlackRock, Fidelity, VanEck, ARK Invest, Valkyrie, everyone, right? What the surveillance partner means is that they both share information, the ETF holder or the ETF provider such as BlackRock, Coinbase, the government, in order to reduce market manipulation, right? And Coinbase is already the only publicly regulated one. They're on the stock market. So them over any other exchange is a no-brainer because they're already regulated by the SEC, even though there is a bit of a lawsuit going in there, but it just seems like they're trying to get them all, like get all your ducks in a row. You're the most regulated one. We're all choosing you. And it's very clear. So yes, I know, we're in a crypto bear market. Bitcoin, it's kind of just in trading 20, 25, 30K, not a lot of liquidity is coming in. Crypto stocks are bleeding out as well because people are like, oh, well, there's no hype on crypto anymore. You don't need to buy crypto stocks. But you better believe that the bull run will come back. Crypto will come back. And who is being positioned to be the North American and all ally countries' darling of crypto? It's Coinbase. They don't have a token. You can't invest in Coinbase on the crypto market. You can invest in Coinbase on the stock market through their regulated stock coin.
And while all this has been happening, I found it really interesting that Base, the layer 2 scaling solution, was introduced at the end of July. Mm-hmm. Like, this seems like just such convenient timing that all this is happening all at once. And this has added a lot of revenue for Coinbase. So I was looking at the numbers on Dune Analytics, and they're monetizing through transaction fees. So from July 31st to current, they've generated $2.7 million in revenue from $4.2 million in fees. Pretty freaking crazy.
Yeah.
They have 1 million cumulative users so far, but they're adding 40,000 new users per day onto Base.
Yeah, interesting.
The numbers are skyrocketing.
TVL is going out of control.
Up to 250 million so far.
Yeah.
So a lot of money. Ethereum and USDC make up the most that have been bridged over to Coinbase. Tons of institutional investors and players and traders will be on Base.
Yeah.
So,
and if you think about it, Base could now be emerging as one of the top layer 2s or top blockchains in total for the next bull run. And the only stable coin that's on there is the bridge USDC. So it just adds even more, ammo in the competition between USDC and USDT, between Coinbase and Binance, the American government. And the American government and all these ETF holders and all these people that are now invested in Coinbase, they're going to be pushing this Base layer 2 because they're invested in the positive outcome of this blockchain, this ecosystem. So, when you start to see even more mass crypto adoption, maybe they're picking to build their dApps on Base as opposed to, Ethereum or Solana, and they have no control. They have no financial interest in these companies, these ones that are offshore or whatever. But Base, they own a percentage of that company. So they're like, let's build our new government dApp on Base.
yeah.
That could happen easily.
It makes a lot of sense. So the fact why are we talking about Coinbase now? The stock has not been performing too well over the past month. I mean, it's been performing okay. I mean, it tends to kind of ride the way how well Bitcoin's doing,
sure.
which is fucking so ridiculous as an off fucking topic here. It's the fact that like when Bitcoin goes down, like all coins go down, or like people start selling their small cap. It's like, or the stocks and stuff. It's like,
yeah, it's all connected.
It's all connected. It's a bit fucking ridiculous. Like,
yep.
Anyways, but their revenue has been on a decline. So they went from $103 million in net revenue down to $663 million. So not great.
I mean, it's a bear market.
That's the thing. Here's the thing though. Their fixed quarterly operating expenses are down 50% year over year. I like that. So this is money that they would normally have been coughing up every quarter. They've slashed that in half. So they're running more efficiently and more effectively now.
Yeah, and like institutional investors, we always talk about how crypto needs regulation for institutional investors to get in. But Coinbase is already fully regulated. So there's a couple of quotes I found in some of the articles. So this one guy says, the stock market, Wall Street, they're applauding Coinbase's careful approach. That's why they got all the ETF deals, right? Their partnership, the BlackRock partnership with Coinbase, when that was announced, the stock nearly doubled. And then it's sold off about 50% since then. It went from 50 to 100, now it's at 75 or something like that. But if you think about you're a traditional finance firm and you want to make a large-scale investment in crypto, after what happened with FTX, there's no way you're going to be going after an unregulated exchange that's not on a stock exchange with potentially shady things going on. You're going to be looking at investing in the chosen one, the regulated one. And, you don't have to do that. If you want to invest in FTX, either it's a private deal or you have to buy a shit ton of the FTX token.
Yeah, that's it.
But they can just buy the Coinbase stock.
Yeah.
So when crypto starts to come back into favor, you already have the chosen one, fully regulated, fully transparent. They're making a point of separating client and corporate funds, which is, SBF was mixing all the funds and stuff like that. Coinbase is fully transparent. They're regulated. So there's a lot of green ticks for Coinbase from an investment point of view.
And they also have, Aladdin through Coinbase for BlackRock for the big institutional, their high net worth individuals. They can actually be trading crypto through this. So there just seems to be, if you start connecting the dots, it seems as though there's a lot of regulatory scrutiny. They're pointing the finger at Tether, and primarily due to the fact that there's market manipulation tied to Chinese. There's proposals to enforce KYC.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that this is compliant, they're working with BlackRock. There's strategic investments in Circle. They have diversified revenues now with the base, with how much, like in the first month, the fact that they've already brought in over $3 million in revenue is freaking insane.
Yeah.
And then, it's just the fact that they've reduced their operating efficiencies. So like there's a lot of green boxes being checked here, and they're kind of moving in the right direction as we read between the tea leaves and connect the dots.
Yeah. So it's like, fast forward, let's look at the crystal ball out here. If we think, say, 2-3 years down the line, when the dust is settled on crypto regulation, we have an actual institution and platforms in place. What do we think it's going to look like? So USDC, Coinbase, Circle, they're going to be the dominant stable coin in Canada, USA, Australia, all these allied countries that don't want to have China meddling with their money, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to see a massive influx of users to Coinbase. You're going to see a massive influx of revenue to Coinbase, to the base blockchain, using the app, all that kind of stuff. These ETFs are going to be launched eventually.
Yeah.
And Coinbase is the surveillance partner for them. So Coinbase is looking to be, I think, 2-3 years down the line, they're going to be much, much more dominant than they are now. And then where do we see USDT on the other hand? Because, countries like China and Asia and Russia, they don't really want to support what's going on with America. So maybe USDT becomes the dominant stable coin in the non-Western world, so to speak.
In the Asian markets, etc. I could potentially see something like that. What I see happening right now is, look, they're trying to oust Binance. Binance apparently has a majority of the Bitcoin trading via centralized exchanges. So Binance, BTC / the TUSD that they're using, like True USD, that stable coin, 46% of trading of Bitcoin is done through that.
Right.
Through the USDT, 28%. Coinbase Bitcoin trading pair with USD is only 8%. So they need to get rid of Binance, and the way that they're going to do that is they're going to keep choke pointing them at all the different countries who are doing business with the US, and then hopefully start to gain market share over USDT. And they're doing that. They're adding the 6 new blockchains. We're probably going to see another 6 added at another point. It's all going to go through Coinbase, and that's when the fees are going to be made for Coinbase, and that's why a stock like this could do quite well in the future. Yeah,
for sure. I think TLDR, Coinbase looks to be the chosen one for the American crypto market in that area. So we personally, no financial advice, we like the look of the Coinbase stock right now, because we see a long roadmap of catalysts that are going to propel it, whether people like it or not, into the forefront of the North American crypto market and beyond.
That's what I'm seeing. Hey, if you guys see any other tea leaves or like connecting the dots and thought we did a good job in this, let us know in the comments, and then make sure you tune to the next episode.
Ooh, that one's going to be a banger.